tripping.
So she's driving me insane. Got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing me games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Hit that like button. What up? What up? Let's go. Let's get it. Like and share. Let's get in the algorithm. Like it and share it. Let's go.
What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammett, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, y'all, we're going to be answering the question, why do a lot of narcissists hate their exes? Hate them. Hate. With a capital H, capital A, little t, big E. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. So, one of the red flags I try to tell people to watch out for narcissistic people is that they hate their exes. And they, not only do they hate their exes, they are obsessed with ruining their ex's lives or trying to hurt or harm an ex. Like while actively being in a relationship with you. Like y'all were together in a relationship, but they are hyper focused on getting back at an ex that left them or something like that. While they're supposed to be happy with you, you might be the new supply. You might be the narcissist's new supply, and they might try to turn you into a flying monkey to harass and, post-separation abuse their ex-partner. This happens all the time. If you're dealing with somebody that you think might be narcissistic and they're just hyper-focused on an ex, just be very, very careful in these situations, y'all. Because they could claim to hate that ex, but somehow stay in contact with them and somehow maybe end up back together with them. If they're still talking to their exes or reaching out to their exes or trying to ruin their exes' lives or stalking their ex, y'all, I'm not telling you to leave this person alone, but So,
just bring it in. But very interesting. Lee Hammock. That guy is a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and he calls himself a self-aware narcissist. And he does YouTube content to, create information or provide information for people who don't understand narcissism. But let me just say, your ex doesn't have to be a narcissist in order to try to run a smear campaign against you. Now, that might be the favored tactic, of a narcissist, but regular people who aren't, clinically diagnosable as someone suffering from NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. But let's get into today's topic because it's interesting that we played that clip first because it actually kind of sets us up. Allow me to introduce my ex, the devil. If your ex is the devil, what does that make you? Now, Why is it that we always blame somebody? Why? Why can't we just take responsibility for what it is we've done? Usually, conflict and I've rarely seen it just one way. Oh, he just crazy, or she just crazy, or there. I was just minding my business and crazy showed up. I rarely see it like that. I believe conflict is, like all things in relationships, bi-directional, right? You could be doing crazy things to yourself, maybe on an unconscious level, but that adds to the bidirectionality of the conflict that we tend to experience. So I want to know, why is it easier to say it was their fault, or they're messed up, or something is wrong with them? Have you ever been with somebody and they was like, you need therapy. I'm okay. Everything about me, good. Something wrong with you and you alone. Have you ever experienced that in relationship? In what ways can the archetype of the devil in relationships serve as a projection of one's own unresolved traumas and fears? You calling me the devil so you don't have to look at your own? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. This is a non-judgmental space. Everybody's opinion is welcome. I want to talk to everybody. Get in here, get in here, get in here. What does the concept of shadow work from Carl Jung's psychology perspectives, how does the concept of shadow work facilitate a deeper understanding of our ex-partners as reflections of our own inner turmoil? Your crazy ex, could it be said that your crazy ex, quote unquote, you're calling them crazy, your crazy ex, their crazy is a reflection of your deep-seated issues, your unhealed wounds? How many people are really ready to take responsibility like that? I hear a lot of men calling women to the floor. Women are just not accountable. Could your unaccountable woman be a reflection of your lack of personal accountability? I know Andy's shaking his head already. Andy going, Zoe, if you don't pack your things up and leave the studio right now. No, I'm just saying, could it be both ways? Could you both be unaccountable in some way? But a lot of men don't want to see, like, let's sit down and have, brothers, let's start journaling, brothers. This is a journal especially for men. And women can do it too, but the journal is called How I Let Myself Down Today, or Opportunities I Missed to Lift Myself Up Today. What if we journaled about missed opportunities and ways to be better prepared for them when they show up? Now, the only reason why and I'm not saying it's a real journal, I'm just saying, just follow me here. What if you were that self-aware to keep kind of a ticker tape of self-observation, how you may have let yourself down in certain areas, how you don't stand up for yourself in certain areas, how you don't hold yourself to a higher standard in certain areas? What in communication, right? Man, I could have said that better. And you journal about it. Man, I could have had better control of my emotions. Man, they kind of got away from me. What if you journaled like that, which shows us a record of men, and I'm not saying men don't do it, but shows us a record of the work being put in, right? I think it's easy to say women are not accountable. I think it's an easy projection, an easy a scapegoat, right? Or easy scapegoat to say, yeah, women are less accountable than men. But maybe, could it be that your dating pool is a pool full of people that are on the same vibrational frequency, and that vibrational frequency so happens to be the frequency of unaccountability, non-accountability? I'm just asking, right? We agree in one sense when we say, hey, man, if you don't figure out what happened in this relationship, you're just going to replay it in the next. If we agree with that ideation, that notion, you're going to replay something, right? So if you find, brothers, that you're constantly getting an unaccountable or non-accountable woman, wouldn't it make sense using that thought that you're going to replay something if you don't heal it? Wouldn't it be prudent to say, let me do some self-reflection and see where I am not as accountable as I believe myself to be? What role does cognitive dissonance play in the demonization of an ex? And how can it hinder emotional healing? How might the Buddhist principles of non-attachment help individuals reframe their perception of an ex-partner as less of a devil and more of a teacher? I know you're not ready for that. I know you don't want to see somebody who betrayed you or hurt you or disappointed you or frustrated you or angered you as a teacher. I know. I just know you don't want to see it that way, right? That's a powerful question. How might the Buddhist principle of non-attachment help individuals reframe their perception of an ex-partner as less of a devil and more of a teacher? In what ways can the practice of radical acceptance, as taught by Tara Branch, right, mitigate the emotional turmoil associated with villainizing or demonizing an ex-partner? How does the social narrative around breakups contribute to the stigmatization of ex-partners? And what are the implications for future relationships? Can the act of labeling an ex as the devil serve as a defense mechanism against feelings of guilt or shame regarding the end of the relationship? How can the practice of self-inquiry, as advocated by Ramana Maharishi, help individuals discern their role in the dynamics of their former relationships? Sheesh. I know people, listen, people can do us wrong. Let me just go there. It's possible that we can be done wrong. But what I'm really asking is, if you were done wrong, are you totally blameless for what happened to you in the relation? I'm talking about adult relationships. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about real life relationships. Like when you sit down and you begin to do some introspection and you go, wow, I remember this happened, that happened. You know how women do? And this has been my experience. Maybe men have the same experience too. But I can recall a woman telling me, literally, in alphabetical order, from A to Z, everything that I did wrong at the end of the relationship. And, she just didn't speak on them during the relationship. I wonder if we have that same ability, or do we put ourselves through that same kind of scrutiny when looking at ourselves and taking responsibility for what we do? Is it just easier to call our partner a devil? The post-breakup narrative often veers into the territory of demonization, wherein an ex-partner is cast as the devil, Lucifer, Satan. This metaphorical label serves as a psychological defense mechanism, allowing individuals to examine their pain and unresolved, not examine, but externalize it, project it outwardly, their pain and unresolved issues, while simultaneously shifting responsibility away from themselves. The implication of this behavior is very profound. It affects not only the individual's emotional well-being, but also their capacity for healthy future relationships. I just want to know, what did you do? If they're the devil, are you Beelzebub? Like, I want to know how you are compatible and attracted to the devil. You got exes that you called a monster, evil, demon, a devil. Oh, here's a great word, hellraiser. I just want to know, because I just find that it's all too easy to scapegoat the ex. Now, if everybody's a work in progress, what was your contribution to the decay of the relationship? How might your poor relationship with yourself, right, lend to the demise of the relationship or the conflict that was experienced within the relationship? When I come forward, you already know what it is. It's phone lines. I want to talk to everybody. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hey, y'all been telling me that spraying the what is it? The Lysol. You guys have been telling me for a long time. So that Lysol is gonna kill you. That Lysol is going to destroy you. How many people have said that to me? We got this outdoor, indoor quality clean air device. So look at it. There it is, that little device right here. So green is in the studio. The lower the number, the better. Outside, it's at 70. Air quality is worse outside than it is in here. When I walked in here in this room, the air quality was at like 5. Now it's at 21. After I sprayed the Lysol, it popped up and it turned red, and then the little face had a mask on. It was up to 270 after I sprayed the Lysol. I had to see it. I had to see it. And it's just starting to come down. But I had to see it for myself, because I was like, ain't nothing wrong with Lysol. I'm going to spray this shit like crazy. I mean, I was spraying it in the air. Nah, because Robin came in here sniffly. I was like, nah, not me. I'm going to spray down the chair handles, the mics. I'm spraying it down. And I'm excessive. But yo, it jumped like to 290. I'm like, whoa. So like, Lysol confetti, absolutely. Who's on the phone line? Who wants to talk? I want you guys to get on your phone lines. Call me right now. Call me right now. Don't be afraid to support the channel. Hit the like button, the share button. There's many ways to support the channel. I want you guys to get in here, show your love, show your appreciation for your brother Zoe. If you enjoy this content, please support. Go to my Cash App, $Zowhatnetter. That's a really good way to do it. $Zowhatnetter. That cash will come directly to me instantly right now if you want to support your brother. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or you can do the super chat. The super chat is the $sign at the bottom of the chat. Please support. Mm, 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 mm.
Others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hate them, and then you destroy yourself. Those famous words were uttered by Richard Nixon in his farewell speech to his staff. The irony, and this is the key to blame shifting, there is always denial and self-deception in it. Do you hear what he's saying? Richard Nixon had a compulsion to hate the news media, to hate anyone who opposed him. And what did he do? He learned to hate them back, and he destroyed himself. And that's the thing to remember, is when somebody is shifting blame, it's a recognition of their own self-loathing and self-hatred. Now, this isn't to disparage Richard Nixon. Like, if you knew his childhood and what he went through, he was raised with self-loathing. It's the only way he could experience himself, because especially back then, we didn't talk about or teach these things.
Pause this, because this is so big. He's asking you to have compassion and empathy for Richard Nixon and his blame shifting because of his childhood and where he came from. He's not saying give him a pass, he's saying empathize, right? Do you know, in modern day relationships, man, they can know all about your past. They bottom line behaviors. Bottom line is what you did, I didn't like it, and it hurt. I'm not letting you off the hook because of where you came from. But knowing where a person comes from gives you a nuanced understanding of who they are. And it's also a gateway into understanding who you are. Unhealed people need a villain. They need an adversary. Just like he used Richard Nixon. He said Richard Nixon hated the media because they hated him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let the rest of it play.
Because especially back then, we didn't talk about or teach these things. So he was just doing the best he could with the information he had at the time. So I don't hold that against him, but I do hold him accountable. And this is the key to remember with blame shifting, is this person is hurt. It doesn't condone their actions. It doesn't let them off the hook. They still are responsible for the consequences, just like Nixon was of being impeached. He did that to himself. But underneath it, if we hate them, if we don't have empathy for what creates the blame shifter, do you see what we're doing? we're destroying ourselves. Just like Nixon, we are caught in the exact same self-deception. That is.
Do you agree with that? Because many people, when done wrong, it's almost like a coupon that you can redeem, that you can cash in to say, now I could feel as bad about you as I've always wanted to. Yeesh. Now I have a perfectly good reason to let my worst thoughts and feelings and potentially even actions towards you, I now have a good reason to let it out because you're a bad person. And again, having the context of where he comes from is supposed to recontextualize our view of Nixon. Who's the Nixon in your relationship? Huh? Gaslighting and blame shifting are additional mechanisms that exacerbate, this kind of relationship that I'm an angel, they're a devil, experience. When one partner attempts to manipulate the narrative of the relationship, it not only distorts reality, but also fosters an environment ripe with resentment and mistrust. This is real heavy stuff. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. We have callers. I want to know, who's the devil in your relationship? You or them? You see the number is going down. KBLA Studio 17. I mean, I had it up at 290. You guys good? What up, Sula? Sula, thank you for the Cash App. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I appreciate you. Since you've been in this show, watching this show, you have been really supportive of the Cash App. I just want to say thank you. Whether you sent one today or not, the bottom line is you've been really consistent and I appreciate you. And more importantly, like when I see that, it ain't even really about the Cash App. It's more about, wow, they got something from the show. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, the show had an impact on them to the degree that, they wanted to share. And that feels good. Like when I get off the air and I check and or whatever, and it's like, wow, people really got something out of it. Most Deaf Learning Daily. That's what we do. That's what we here for. And I keep trying to tell y'all, I get better when I can talk to you. See, what I'm doing right here is called the framework, right? I can frame the show 1,000 different ways. But in terms of information coming out, right, it's better when I can talk to you. So let's talk. Let's talk. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Come on, Wiz the Biz. Come on. Everybody hit that like button. Wiz the Biz showed up in the super chat. He dropped a 25 spot on us. We appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, that's like Miss J. Miss J popped in here out of the blue yesterday, and we were talking about something that was happening live time, real time in her life. And she dropped $100 on the chat, like boom, She did that because she was like, man, I haven't seen the show in a while. She wasn't looking for the show. And it just popped up on her feed, and it was something that so happened to be aligned with exactly what she was going through. And she was like, man, the words, the timing, where I came in at, what was being said in that moment. She was like, it was a powerful, powerful, powerful epiphany for me to be. She was like, it was serendipity. I was here at the right time, and the information hit me at the right time. I needed it. I was like, wow. You never know how the universe is working. And this speaks to my ideation about how the universe is divinely fine tuned. I don't believe there are accidents in any way, shape, or form. The universe is fine tuned. You know.
That's ladwp.com/freetrees. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households.
Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We got 8 people in here who haven't hit the like button. We got 2 minutes on this break. If you want to donate, support, share, the best way you know how, either super chat down at the bottom, the $sign, bottom of the chat, or Cash App. Either way is appreciated. When I come forward, we're talking to John first. He's been on for 19 minutes. I got to get him off that line. Things happen for you to learn pending that you survive the situation. 100%. Here we go. Oh, one more commercial. Hey, I haven't heard my commercials. My commercial, the tax guy, I've been listening for my commercial. You don't know which commercials are coming out? All right. I want to make sure that they're playing. It's a commercial about tax services. I'll be listening for it. It's supposed to play once in the first hour and once in the second hour. I gave it to Deborah already. It played last week. I'm listening for it. All right, here we come.
People who've dated and been broken up with by individuals with severe avoidant attachment and fears of intimacy and commitment are often very, very hurt, upset, and scared when they see that their avoidant partner appears to have no reaction to the breakup and may believe that they never actually cared about them at all. It's very easy to personalize an avoidant attacher's appearance based on the way they're behaving and assume that your entire relationship or even situationship with them was a lie. I'm here to actually let you know that just because appearances look as though this individual didn't care about you, there is actually a lot more going on behind the scenes. When this individual shuts down, absolutely, a lot of those feelings for you are not actually showing, because the front part of what you're seeing is a lot of their need to try and reject you to protect themselves, because they are feeling intense fear and anxiety at the surface. However, once they back away, that fear starts to subside and some of their fondness for you can return. And that can also be coupled with a lot of shame and guilt, which is why some of these individuals madly try and come back to you to try and rectify things, or go off and date someone new to deal with the shame. Some of them may even have complete addictive binge episodes where they get completely smashed on alcohol and drugs to cope with the pain of what they've done.
Wow. Ooh, there's a lot of devils out there. Are you one of them? Are you one of the devils? I keep telling y'all, we get who we are. This is just another show to illustrate that. There's a little devil in you. And that devil wants a soulmate in the devil in another. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that's just what it is. As Pema Chodron suggests, the refusal to confront our pain often leads to the projection of that pain onto others. This projection manifests as the demonization of an ex. Where there is unresolved conflicts and emotional wounds, they will be externalized, allowing individuals to avoid confronting their own shortcomings. This happens a lot. It happens a lot. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. My friend, your friend, Mountain View, Hawaii, John. Aloha. Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts?
Greetings and blessings, Chad. Zoe, are you trying to give us chapter 3 of Monday's basically rant of the very same thing you're talking about right now?
Chapter 3 of Monday. What do you mean?
Okay, Tanisha Arnold said something to the effect of, when we see the victimization of black men or women, whether they're guilty of it or not, we always have a finger to point.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see other people do it, it's not something that you hear crickets.
Right. Oh, the Tashina Arnold post that post is going crazy on my page, by the way. Yes, I know what you mean. She was talking about, the R. Kellys, the Diddies of the world. When our own people, get in trouble, our people, we tend to disparage them, joke on them, clown them, whatever. I mean, but when people of other races are found guilty of the same thing, we don't really have anything to say. And she was saying that aspect disgusts her. Tashina Arnold, actress from Martin, Gina, not Gina, but Pam from Martin, she mentioned that, and it has caused a serious viral spike on my Instagram page. I think it's hard to demonize the one who feeds you.
Well, it's hard to demonize the one that feeds you, but take it a deeper step.
Mm.
You had to notice the devil in the ex for you to make that notion clear.
Come on, I'm listening.
But you also need to identify the devil in you.
Come on, but nobody thinks they're the
Quit
devil.
procrastinating. You need to face this devil, because this devil is the same pendulum swing which is called your life. I remind you of the Bible where it says God created good and evil.
Isaiah 45:7.
and you're not experiencing.
Well, but do you? It's difficult for people to be like, I'm the problem. It's
And
difficult.
sometimes we are.
But,
And sometimes we are.
but
And
John,
it's going to be difficult.
but John, should we have some empathy for them in their resistance to seeing
And
themselves?
have the same empathy for yourself.
Come on, keep going. That's why I'm asking. Keep going, John.
But the whole point is, yes, there's good and bad and all.
Mm-hmm.
And we carry that joker with us on a regular basis. For those of us who are men who care for people, and yet we don't know where the limiter is as far as our giving.
Ooh. So we're the devil in that because we don't know where the limiter is.
How do you not see the devil inside of you?
Ooh. Ooh. Is there a devil inside of you when you're giving for a payoff? Like,
But that's the whole point of you giving, isn't it?
Is that your devil?
There is a payoff of some sort, right?
Is there? Should there be?
Well, if you was giving out of the simple fact because you had it, no.
What if you give
I'm
with?
not saying that tricking is a valued entity, but I'm also wanting to be labeled as a simp. No way.
No, but
I want to give. I want to give. It's in my heart to give. It is the God-given right that I have been given to be the human being I choose to be.
Right. But what if we're giving in the same context as Krishnamurti's point when he says, I love you and I don't want a thing from you? I think when you're giving...
But that's the point we all need to work on.
Right.
That's the point that I'm trying to get at in my giving.
Right.
Why do you think I give to this show?
Mm.
There's no point of giving to a show unless there is benefit off in it. Even if it don't come to me. Yet at the same time, I do give. And I will give again. I will continue to give to this show because I see the work that needs to be done. And it's not just for me. It's for everybody that doggone listens to this show.
Man, you done got the organs out of Andy. Andy done hit the organs on you, man.
But this is the work that needs to be done in all of us.
Right.
Every single one of us needs to put that part into full perspective. Quit avoiding the look you see in the mirror.
Wow. Wow. I love it, brother. I love it. Hey, guess what you just did, Brother John?
Actually, we're up here with 25th ID in Pahakalua training area at the current time, but nonetheless, we're in the house.
Come on, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for calling. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580. We are on fire tonight. When I come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas. Yo, what up, Suge Mac 510? What up, Suge? What up, May? Tanya Starks? What up, what up? Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're just tapping in, say what's up to your brother Zoe Williams. Say what up, what up, what up, what up. The number to dial, if you want to participate, 1-800-920-1580. Let's have a conversation. I'd like to talk to you. Please come to the phone lines, 1-800-920-1580. Oh, Lord, John Gilbreth. Oh, Lord. Come on, brother. Thank you, Brother John.
What's the name of the company for the tax thing? You don't even know it?
I forgot.
But it's a tax company?
Yeah.
Optima Tax Relief?
No.
Tax Advocates or something like that?
Something like that. It's Charles T. Allman III.
Charles T. Allman. Did you have him as a guest or something?
Yeah. And he got I got his commercials. They supposed to be running.
I only go off of what I see in the little traffic thing.
Don't worry. I'll call Deborah. Hey, man, can everybody hit the like button on John Gilbreth II's donation? That's crazy. Hey, man, I don't take none of this stuff for granted, bro. I don't take any of this for granted, man. Thank you. $100 on the super chat. Thank you, bro. I don't take any of this for granted, bro. And those who can't do it, man, y'all should hit the like button just out of respect that he was able to do it. So please hit the like button on his super chat. There's a feature that allows everybody in here to like, the donation of somebody. So I just think that's courtesy and respect, and I think that's cool. Thank you, brother. And thank you for the wisdom. Twenty seconds. Show love for the support. That was succinct. Thank you.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another episode. If you are new to my channel, my name is Stephanie. I am a life and relationship coach. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another show. So this week, I want to talk about how to deal with anger when we are going through a divorce, we're ending a relationship, or we're, in the process of going through a breakup. So this is really huge because anger is a part of the grieving process, but I want you to understand, number one, why we feel this anger, and how to move through it so we can begin really healing after the end of this relationship. So I'm sure we've all met those people who their anger turns to bitterness and then they stay stuck there for years and years, or perhaps maybe they don't turn bitter, but they just get very angry, feel defeated, they never get into a relationship again, or they just, that this relationship really hurt them and change them, not for the better. So we don't want any of that to happen. We want to experience these relationships and go through them in healthy ways and heal in a healthy way. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. So there are lots of reasons why we sometimes feel angry. We could be angry with ourselves for perhaps now seeing the red flags that we didn't see early on in the relationship, for overlooking a lot of abusive behavior and taking a lot of abusive behavior that we took throughout the course of that relationship. We could be really angry with the other person for giving us the abuse, for taking advantage of us, for manipulating us, whatever, and for not being able to be strong enough to even perhaps leave the relationship sooner than maybe what we have. We could be angry with the other person for how they left us and how they treated us at the end of that relationship, whether someone cheated on you or left you or had an affair. So there are lots of reasons why we feel this anger, and we can pinpoint them all day long. I feel angry because they did this, this, and that, and I'm angry with myself because I did this, this, and that. But really what anger is sadness, and the sadness is the disappointment of the expectation that you had on this person, on yourself, and on the way you thought this relationship was going to go. Where people really get stuck is when they get angry either too much with the other person, where they become bitter, and they don't take any responsibility for their own selves, or they are too angry at themselves for things that they did wrong in the relationship. So this is when you're angry with yourself because perhaps your partner left you, or lied or cheated, whatever it looks like. Maybe even if they didn't do any of those things, that they just wanted the relationship to end, you could have a bunch of stories that are under the umbrella of I'm not enough. So it could be,
Man, them stories can be dangerous. The stories we tell ourselves after something went down in a relationship, you know what you saw. You know what you experienced. You know what was done to you, and you know what you did to others. But boy, that psychological, emotional, and mental revisionist history that happens after this bi-directional conflict caused the relationship to end, man, people are some amazing editors of the truth, man. They revise everything that they did to look blameless. You gotta get, it's like blame. Hey man, I gotta get this off my book. These actions that I did that caused the relationship to suffer, I gotta get it off my books. If it's on my books, it's like I gotta pay for the taxes on it. And many people don't want to pay these relational taxes that are gained from the things we bring to the relationship. It's easy to shift blame on our partner. We got callers on the line. I want to get them in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Here we go. Here we go.
Look, I won't be long, but I will be strong.
Mm.
I was thinking about your conversation with Pastor John, and you were saying that it's hard to demonize the person that feeds you. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of something on that. I think that it's hard to demonize the person who feeds your wounds, even after they stop feeding you, because you know you participating in the devilment, and I'm talking about myself too. Devilment meaning reckless mischief.
Reckless mischief.
We know what we be doing. Pitchfork is in the closet. But you know what's interesting though, I think the opposite of that though is it's easier to demonize people who are engorging you with things that you don't value.
Say
they're
more.
Overgiving so they're overgiving of the things that you don't find to be valuable. So for example, if a person is available to you because in their mind they're like, this is going to allow a relationship to form, but you don't value their availability because you don't really value what they bring, it doesn't really matter how available they are. It's not going to ring any bells. But the person that is feeding your wounds, so what that might look like is allowing you to skirt accountability.
Right.
That will be them feeding your wound, right? So what's interesting about that, though, is that's the same thing that they'll throw in your face at the end of the breakup. And that's kind of what you detailed when you said that the lady ran off the laundry list of grievances, right? The very thing that they allowed you to skirt, the very accountability they allowed you to skirt will be thrown back in your face later. So, and that's a form of devilment in itself.
Devilment is a wonderful word. Devilment. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, so I think the lesson in that, or something that I'm still learning, is that if I'm not placing value on the very thing that I'm providing and being selective about who I'm providing it to, I am my own devil in that.
Let me ask you a question. Has somebody ever seen you as the villain, as the devil in the relationship?
Quite a few people.
Well, why? You ain't got to say no names. I'm just saying, why would they see Polo Attila?
Ain't no Polo.
I'm just saying, you know, meek and mild little Attila. Why would they see you as the devil? What kind of devilment have you brought to the table? That's all I want to know.
I mean, for me, I have a really hard time, I think, when I feel like I've been wronged in some type of way, it's really hard for me to then take accountability after that with that same exact person. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, it's a forgiveness issue. Because I think that if you can't fully forgive, you won't be able to fully take accountability when you mess up later either, because you're still holding on to that retribution that you feel like you're owed.
So it's like,
and I wrote a comment.
It's like righteous indignation almost. It's like you did me wrong, so there are no rules. After you do me wrong, you can't hold me to any standard or anything. I don't have to be accountable for anything. Is that what you're saying?
In a sense, yeah. I think it can definitely come off that way for sure. And to be honest, I think the bigger issue there, for me at least, is not really calling things when they happen. I'm one of those people that is a no worries type of person. Like we talked about the strong friend earlier, like that's kind of how I am. And I think that it creates an issue because when you really do have an issue or some sort of grievance to address, it's really hard to do that when you've been no worries and easygoing this whole time. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think part of it is just being able to authentically speak about things in a way that is still respectful when you're upset, and that's hard to do, at least for me. And that also leans into reactive abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you may be being gaslit, or being what's the other word?
No, wait, hold tight.
Mm-hmm.
When we come forward, you gonna find that word, and you gonna let us. You said reactive abuse, and then you're looking for the other term. When we come forward, more from Attila out of Houston, Texas. Hey, Hustle, man, I'm so happy to see you in here, bro. Call in. And it ain't even about the show, man. It's about you being okay. I didn't see Mimi. It's been right here on the side of my head. I'm trying to run through the callers and get it done because I was gonna shout out our Florida listeners. And just to see you in here, bro. Man, just to see you in here. Just to see you in here, bro. Like, damn. I was thinking about you today, man. Is Mimi or Nzinga on here? No, I don't know. Like I'm saying, like, I've been thinking about my Florida people strong. It just came in. Oh, I just came in from a walk in the breeze. I was born in it. But man, if you don't knock it off.
One of the students was 13-year-old Autumn Shelton, who attends Percy Julian Middle School. She said that her history teacher had the class clean dirty cotton for the rest of the class period.
Hey, what up, Bastard Life? That's a hell of a that's a hell of a name.
By saying they are committed to providing an educational environment. A new poll finds Black Democrat Angela Alsobrooks has a 9-point lead over Republican Larry Hogan in Maryland's U.S.
Everybody hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. If you want to support the show, a couple of ways to do it. You can go to my website, MrZoWhat.com, purchase a book, The Shrouded Lighthouse. That's my latest book, 2021, The Shrouded Lighthouse. If you've never read it, it's amazing. Or there's a little $ down at the bottom of the chat. It's called the Super Chat. We're not looking for a whole lot of money. If you got $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, whatever you can give, please support. You could give via the Super Chat, the $ at the bottom of the chat, or you can send the bread directly to your brother. My Cash App is $ZoWhatNetter. Once again, that's $ZoWhatNetter. Please support. Please support. Please support. I'm a LA baby. You already know, Big Zo. What up, LA fam? Please support. Check out Zoe Williams' 4th book, The Shrouded Lighthouse. No, I'm not even gonna say it. Be quiet, so don't talk about it. Just know, this next little meeting, I'm gonna be suited and booted. Big deal coming. Yeah, support, support, support. Thank you for the likes. We officially have more likes than listeners.
The voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Have your
Nzinga!
soulmate become your soulmate. Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy. How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't here, and you still had to pay child support. It's a very heated topic. Oh, is that right? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, this gonna be war up there. He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant. Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with the bad vibes routine. How does he maintain his humposity? He likes it when it pinches the nip. Why can't you open up, brother? I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you make women so well?
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
The topic is anger and the topic is abuse. And I think that there's a lot of confusion around what is what. So let's start with reactive anger or reactive abuse. Now, from a therapeutic standpoint, we don't really call this phenomenon reactive abuse because it is victim blaming and it is inaccurate. Because what ends up happening is if you're in an abusive situation, let's just say with a narcissist, they will provoke you until you hit a tipping point and you scream back, you throw something, you do something that is reactive to the amount that they've been heaping on you. And now they take control of the narrative and you're the abusive one. Everything they've done before that, in their mind, it erases it. And the way that they grab a hold of the narrative is they make it be like, you're crazy, you're doing all of this. And I've heard a lot with my clients who've been in abusive relationships with narcissists, that it'll be, it's always like late at night when you have an important thing to do the next day. They're picking some crazy brawl with you that has nothing to do with nothing. And then you end up getting so upset and so mad, scream something back, do something that would be considered explosive anger. And they turn the narrative around and then they roll over and go to sleep and you're up all night, seething, ruminating, feeling bad, right? If you're still sort of in the clutches of someone's abuse and their narrative of what's happening. So when people say reactive abuse or reactive anger, that's what they're talking about. But when you're in an abusive situation and you're the person being abused, what we call it from a therapeutic standpoint is self-defense, right? You're defending yourself against the abuse. Because suddenly, if we get into a narrative where we're sort of talking about mutual abuse, that completely lets the actual abuser off the hook. And here's the thing, you guys. If you're in this situation, you know what I'm going to say. First of all, don't do anything quickly. Your safety is the most important. Always the most important. I will drop a link. I created an episode for you of how to leave an abusive relationship safely, which is what, if you're going to leave, is the only way to do it. Don't reveal your hand. Don't threaten your abuser that you're going to leave. Right? Keep all of the details close to the chest. Enroll other helpers, other people who you love, who care about you, who, even if they don't know about the situation, you can't be in secrecy if you're in an abusive situation. But I wanted to talk about this because when you're under the control of an abuser, it's really easy to get sucked into their narrative. It's a very stealthy manipulation technique to provoke you to express reactive anger. Be aware if this is happening for you. And again, figuring out how to extricate yourself from that situation, even if it seems complicated. Because unless that abuser is going to get help with you or you're going to get help, it's probably not going to change. But a lot of times it gets worse. So that's the thing that we don't want to happen. For a lot of people, abuse escalates when the person is under stress or loses their job or whatever happens, and they're taking it out on you. So that is reactive anger or reactive abuse, or what we actually call self-defense. Now let's look at passive-aggressive anger, because this seems like it's connected, and in some dynamic way there are similarities, but this is much more common. And with passive-aggressive anger, you're not talking about abuse. You're talking about people who can't express themselves directly, who are not in touch enough with their anger. A lot of times with passive-aggressive anger, it's very threatening to the person who's feeling angry. And I was definitely one of those people. And I also know I was not abusive. But in my 20s, I was so threatened by my own anger. I was terrified of anybody else's anger. Forget it. Nobody could be angry. I literally remember telling my college boyfriend, who I went out with for many years, like, anger could be a deal breaker for me. And he came from a pretty healthy family system. And he was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me I can literally never be angry in this relationship? And I was like,
Man, she was on fire. I was about to let her go another 35 seconds, but goodness gracious. These, the examples that she's using, with regards to the conflict that she's detailing, a lot of times we will call that person who is the passive-aggressive one or the overtly aggressive one. We'll call them a devil. Right? But if you have a worthiness wound, could that worthiness wound be a demon? Right? You have a I'm not enough wound. You have a I'm not worthy wound. You have a low self-esteem wound. Could these be seen as these harbingers of low conscious vibration that allows us to stick it out with certain individuals? Listen, I'm speaking from experience. The unhealed spaces in my heart keeps me in places that prevents me from elevating. Can you say that? I can say it. I got friends that be like, hey, man, do you know who you are? What are you doing? Get out of there. Hey, brother, I come to you for this insight. What are you doing in here? Or do you understand? Sometimes the demons we refuse to heal serve as an anchor, and not one that keeps you rooted, but one that keeps you stuck in a lower level of consciousness. That's what happens to a lot of people. They be like, yo, man, you're the voice of reason. Yes, but I'm a human being. I'm a work in progress. You thought because I understand certain things and I'm gifted in certain spaces that I'm free of internal challenges? Absolutely not. It's okay. Name your demon. I have a worthiness demon. I'm not good enough. I could say that. Anxious, preoccupied. Right? Can you say that? What's your demon? And do you then turn around and project that demon onto others? Man, you're not really down for me. You're not checking for me the way my wound needs you to. Did you hear the way I worded that? How many of you out there in Radio Land? 1-800-920-1580. Right? You're not checking for me the way my wound needs you to check for me. I know I don't check on my wound enough. That's why I need you to do it in order for this to work. Can y'all be honest tonight? 1-800-920-1580. Attila from Houston, Texas, get back in here. Come on. You were about to kick it and it came right in. on the piece that you left off on. So give us the info.
Okay, so I was going to say with that last video with the reactive abuse, everything she's saying is true. I would just say the one thing that she's missing is when you're staying in a dynamic like that that is toxic, the whole gist or the whole point is to get you to the place where your reaction is not equal to the offense. That's kind of the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that you become, like, at least that's just been my experience, to the point where you don't really have recognition or control of your own selfhood, because they want to control your selfhood. And so I've got to make you into the image of me.
So wait a minute. That's kind of like what Biden is telling Israel. You need a proportional reaction. And many of us don't have a proportional reaction when we feel like we've been wronged. Like such is the case of Israel. They feel like they've been wrong. So now that you've wronged us, no holds barred in our reaction, right? And oftentimes in intimate relationships, because don't get it twisted, in Israel and Palestine, that is a relationship, and a toxic one at that, right? But in intimate relationships, once we feel like we're wronged, we don't think proportional reaction. Many of us don't. Am I right or wrong?
No, I mean, like, because I think at that point you're outside of yourself, right? So, you know, you talked about projecting demons. At that point, I'm unleashing them. Or you're projecting them. The three-headed dog, this is coming out. Okay? Like,
wait a minute. You're releasing demons? Is that you? Wait, hold on. This is what you're supposed to be working on, though, right?
Exactly.
But in the interim, if you got them, you throwing them. Go ahead. I hear you.
Right, because the idea is that you're on the defense, right? And I think that when you're talking about wounds, it's no different than tending to a wounded animal. If I'm trying to tend to a wounded animal, if I reach out to them, they might bite at me because they don't recognize the difference between care and hurt. They don't know, like, you know, all they know is I'm hurt, I'm bleeding, I'm in danger. And again, we know obviously this doesn't always happen with animals, but that's kind of the risk that you take in helping a wild animal, right? You know that they might not be able to perceive that you're there to help. And I think that we work in the same way when it comes to our wounds. So that's it. I
love it. I'll tell a guess what you just did.
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building to join this most powerful conversation, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Real quick, though, the Voice of Reason has a tremendous amount of followers in the state of Texas, as well as the state of Florida. Florida is under siege right now, and some of our beloved listeners of the show are actually in my live chat, and I want to shout them out. We had Hustle. He said he just came in from a walk. You wasn't walking around, man. You better knock it off. But maybe he was. He's in Miami, Florida. We have Nzinga. I think Nzinga is Pensacola. And then Mimi. We haven't seen Mimi in the chat. So I just want to make sure that everybody, our Florida family, I want to make sure everybody is safe. Oh, man, Hustle is on the line. There, hey, Florida is it? I need that. Yes. Hustle, get in here, man. Talk to us. Hustle.
Oh, you got me in already?
Yeah, well, come on, brother. Before we
about the storm, this is a regular day for me.
Before we get to the topic, man, I just want to make sure you good.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I've been through this so many times that I could tell a storm before it's coming. I don't even gotta watch the news. I can feel it.
Okay.
Yeah, nature, man.
The storm whisperer. I got you. Come on. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. We grew up in the wild. You know, we're people of the earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? We adapt.
Okay. I got you, brother. I got you. Okay. So
prayers up for, you know, everybody that got
come on.
a little harder.
Man, my sister lives in Tampa, man. I had to cuss her out the day before yesterday. Like, because she didn't leave the last time. I was like, if you don't get The HE double hockey sticks. If you don't get out, yo, so I really had to go hard on her, and she ultimately left and went to Atlanta. But yo, it took her 15 hours to get to Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I would have stayed.
Well, she was in Tampa, like ground zero. Get out of there, bro.
I've been through Andrew. You know what Andrew was?
Yeah, I come on, man. Listen,
Took a nice nap. Took a nice nap, brother.
hey, man, you better stop playing, man. Taking naps in category 5s. I'm not playing with you, man. Listen, listen. Your thoughts on tonight's topic? I know you have some jewels for us, brother.
Yeah, bro. So this is actually something that I had to realize today, man.
Mm-hmm.
With my anxious lean that I've been under for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and attracting the opposite polarity, which would be avoidance.
God,
Now
don't
that
you
it's
hate it?
happened,
Let me stop you, brother.
Right.
Because I have the same affliction.
Mm.
Ugh. Ugh. Okay, go ahead. I just had to get that out. Go ahead.
Here's the trick. Here's the trick. When you come out of that,
Mm-hmm.
now you still got some of that residue. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to question myself today of a woman who's showing me a lot of affection, and I'm like, hold on, I thought she was anxious. I said, oh, so this is interesting. This is what it feels like to be on the opposite end of anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought about it. She might not even be anxious. She just might really like me, and I don't even know what healthy feels like.
Ooh, come on. Like, you lying. In your head, you lying. This ain't real.
I told she talking about she had a loving background and both parents and all this. I was like, hold on, maybe I'm tripping.
Right. Right. Been treated so bad so long, you don't know what it feels like to be treated good. I hear you, brother.
I need a soul recalibration. You hear me?
Nah, that's real. So, because sometimes it seems that's where the concept too good to be true. You're like, nah. Oh, somebody just wrote it. Sula Rubin just wrote it. Too good to be true. Sometimes you feel that way. Yeah.
But it don't feel that though.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because we have been through the love bombing too. That's
Right.
too good to be true.
Right.
It's
No,
more just like, oh, this person cares.
but that's
Oh,
what hustle. You bringing up some great points. It goes the other way. It goes both ways, man. Sometimes when you're just a good person and you want to love on somebody, you want to give somebody some love, and they react to it like you just gave them a cup of hemlock, some poison. They feel like, oh my God, because that's their defense mechanism. Because love hurt them in their childhood. Stay with me, hustle. When we come forward, we got so much more to talk about. The phone lines are on fire. And one of our favorites, I see her. All I'm going to say is the sip is in the building when we come forward. More from the VOR. Yay! What up, y'all? What up, y'all? I hope some of my people supported my Cash App. I hope so. If you got it, I hope so. Let me take a look at the Cash App. I'll be right back. We got 3. Lloyd, Nzinga, and Sula. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Nzinga. Thank you, Sula. Thank you. I'm happy y'all okay. It all comes out in the wash. Whether you need to know, you will. That's the point of your intuition.
Hello, this is Les Brown.
Is that you said?
To go to lesbrownpowertour.com on October the 11th, 12th, and 13th. This weekend, we will be at the airport.
Hey man, the air quality in here is perfect. I just hope that the gators stay away. Yeah, I hear like hurricane mean we get to go on land and in people's houses. Everybody like and subscribe. Like and subscribe if you're new here. Subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the bell for notifications. Show up and show out for your brother.
12th and 13th this weekend. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com. It's going to change your life. Spread the word. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com this weekend in LA at the Marriott at the airport.
Lloyd, Zing, and Sula.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Here we go. This is a hit. This right here, this a mega hit right here. Come on, let's go. Late 80s, early 90s. This late 80s right here. Come on. Hey, hold on, Andy. Hold on. Listen, you got to catch Karen White up because Karen White got hits too now. It might be, you might be a little too young, but this is a hit right here. Let's go.
Let's break this issue down, which is this idea of how narcissistic folks, what they do is they paint this picture of the person who's scorned by the relationship as being unhinged. It's a way for them to keep their power and for them to gaslight you. Let's break this scenario down. So you're in a narcissistic relationship, or maybe you know someone who is. The narcissistic person betrays you. Let's assume it's you in a relationship. They betray you. Maybe they cheat. Maybe they break up with you, and by the first weekend, they're already full on dating someone new. Whatever it is, whatever that betrayal is, you're deeply hurt and angry. So let's just stop there. Being angry is a normal reaction. You loved someone. You were in a relationship. If they were narcissistic, I'm guessing there were some problems in the relationship, but you believed you were in a relationship. To be betrayed in a relationship, whether it is in real life cheating, whether it's sort of texty cheating, inappropriate messages, inappropriate photos, it hurts. So we get angry. We have a reaction. Normal. And as you're angry about that betrayal, you may talk to other people about it. You may tell people about it. You may viciously look at their social media for clues. You may raise the volume of your voice when you talk to them, which is what people do when they're hurt and betrayed and angry. You may obsess, you may ruminate, you may lose trust. You may ask other people about it. If you live together, you may ask them to leave your shared residence immediately, or you may move out. You may stay together and just keep asking them questions about it. But none of us, no one in this situation would just be chill when this happens. Because you're having real and powerful emotions around betrayal, and it is normal to experience them, and it is normal to express them. The funny thing about narcissistic folks who get caught in a betrayal, they kind of get mad if you talk to other people about it. You see, when they betrayed your trust, their cheating became part of your story. And so it's fine for you to talk about your story with other people. It's yours. They brought you into this mess by betraying you, but yet they get churlish about you doing it. So you do express it. Like I said, maybe you kick them out. Maybe you tell others. Maybe
Ooh, that's heavy, man. A lot of people, man, we in relationship with the devil. That's the devil in them. That's how my great grandmama used to say. There ain't nothing but the devil in them. The devil in them. The devil. Hustle from Miami, Florida. Get in here and give me your final thought, brother.
So, I guess what I would say is be open to the process, be open to what you learned, and understand everything's going to feel new. Right? We don't know what's on the other side of that healing. You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't want healing, but we don't understand what's on the other side.
The other side, what it looked like on the other side. That's heavy.
Like before the storm, you know the hurricane coming, but you don't know what it's going to look like after it passes, you know? And I'll tell you, it's very peaceful after the storm passes. Very peaceful.
I love that, brother. Let me tell you this, man. I'm just so happy you were able to call in tonight. Please be safe. All of my Floridian family, please be safe. Hustle Habit from Miami, Florida in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I want to bring in Nikki. Nikki, come on in, but I got to run right back to the next commercial. But I just got to hear your voice. How are you, Nikki?
Hey, what happened, brother, bro?
Are you good?
I'm in the tip. I'm high and dry. I learned everything at Katrina.
Everything at Katrina taught you what you need to.
Leave early. Yeah.
She said, leave early. Hey, listen, Nikki, I'm going to carry you over. When we come forward, we're going to get a special treat. My sister, Nikki from the SIP, she going to give us some wisdom about dating these demonic wounds. And then we call our partner the devil. And then we shift everything onto them. And sometimes it be that little demon in our own spirit that's just projecting itself out onto somebody else. When we come forward, we gonna hear from Deaconess Nikki. Y'all want to call in? Y'all want to call in? Who wants to call in? I need 2 more callers after Nikki. Because Nikki gonna cook. I need 2 more callers. And I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say that this show helps me as much as it helps you. That's what I want to say. This show helps me as much as it helps you. I have these type of thoughts in my mind all the time. And I'm working and writing. Sometimes if I'm writing a book, but the daily grind of doing this show keeps self-observation at the forefront for me. And by no means, because I can articulate it and I understand it, by no means have I gotten a hold of it. By no means have I mastered it or conquered it. All right? And just always being in front of the information. When I do my personal coaching, I tell people, I give them books or whatever. Anybody in here who's ever had coaching by me, I tell them, I'm not giving you books so you can be articulate. I'm not giving you books so you'll be able to tell people, fancy words. Every book I give you, I want you to see the book as a mirror. When you're reading that book, I want you to see yourself in what's being said. Now, if you can't see yourself, then that book is incompatible with your experience, incompatible with your psychology, incompatible even with your spirit. But if you pick up a book, and I know some of you have done this before, you pick up a book and you start reading and it just resonates, the message just resonates so deeply with you. It's almost like, I've known this forever. that, wait a minute, I've never read this book before, but in my being, all the way to my bones, to my DNA, this is me. And that's the purpose of why I will give people books, or I'll give you a particular video to listen to, because the only way to heal is to reveal. The only way to reveal is to shed light. Light is knowledge, right? This is why the ancients, Buddha, the enlightened one, right? Jesus, the morning star. Lucifer, right? The morning star, the light bearer, right? Light is always affiliated with knowledge. Buddha, the illuminated one. You graduate from school, you're an alumnus, one who is illuminated with light. Light is knowledge. So, in order to reveal, you must shed light. And then once you shed light and you see what you are, the only thing to do is to love what was once in the dark. Accept, love, empathize, right? Be in communion with. Carl Jung called it integration, where you integrate your shadow unconscious with the conscious, right? There has to be integration, right? Now, on the flip side, in the Catholic Church, I can't exorcise your demon if the demon integrates with you. Do you hear what I just... If you got an unhealed wound and you integrate with it, it becomes you. It becomes who you are. It's part of your identity. It's who you think you are. You can't be exorcised. Can't be healed. That's how the Catholic Church in the rite of exorcism sees an integrated demon with the person that they took over. Psychologically speaking, have you been taken over? This should have all been on the air, by the way. I know, true. I think I said Lucifer and Jesus, the morning star. But you're right. They're both called the morning star. Ezekiel, chapter 28, I believe. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, many of us have, live in 60 seconds, many of us have been integrated. I don't believe in never. Hustle have it. Have you been? Man, if we knock it off. Everything I just said should have been on the radio. Don't y'all think? I should have said that on the radio. Well, I guess this the perks of being in the behind the scenes. You are Goku and Vegeta. Come, throw these fucking headphones. Fucking. Has anybody had a can of Pringles lately? That used to be my favorite chip. Them motherfuckers is straight paper now. I'm like, this ain't a Pringle. It's a shingle.
A problem arises when our relationships are not understood, right? Whether it is intimate or impersonal. Why have we not understood relationship and see the depth of it or the futility of it and go on with it? But we have never resolved this problem of relationship. Right? You know all about it, don't you? Why? Is it you love and you're not loved?
Ooh.
Is that a problem?
Yes.
So it is. It's a problem.
It's a problem.
Or you love and the other doesn't love.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or in your relationship with another, you're possessive, you're dominant, you're, dependent.
Yes, she belongs to me.
You want something from her, from him. Sex,
Yes, all of it.
pleasure,
Uh-huh.
comfort.
Breakfast.
As somebody said to the speaker the other day, if I leave, who will wash my clothes?
Me. I can wash the clothes, though.
You understand?
She ain't got to wash the clothes. I got it.
I wonder if you understand all this.
If she's nice, I'll wash hers, too.
So what is relationship? Out of which we have made such a tremendous problem. It is to be related to another. Relationship means related to another. To one, or to many, or to the whole of mankind.
Pause.
Right?
So this is the guy who came up with the concept relationship as a mirror. He says the word relationship means to be related to another. Take it deeper. Take it deeper. The wounds that are unhealed in you and in the person you drew into your life are related. That's what causes them to be in relationship with one another. Now, Patrick Carnes calls it trauma bonding. I'm sure there's a polar opposite of that where it's positive, right? Like triggers and glimmers, right? I'm sure there's a polar opposite to an unhealed wound that also draws people in, and we're relating on those levels as well. But many people don't understand the relationship that wounds are in. Our psychologists are already telling us, man, when we get in a relationship where our central nervous systems are also relating. Right? This mirror of relationship is spreading. I'm gonna get Nikki from the SIP in here because I already know she's about to act up. I can let Krishnamurti continue to fire her off, but goodness gracious, Nikki hasn't been in here in a minute. Nikki from the SIP, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Come on in here, sister.
So, about the government.
Let me move back and let you have your space. Go ahead.
Some time ago, I made mention about these rules that we all carry within us. Shout out to Arthur and all the Taurus people listening, because, when you get our horns, you earned it.
Ooh, go ahead.
Generally speaking, the nature of us is a long rope. Which can sometimes translate into we hold it. The government, I have told you before, the scripture tells us that to guard against being in discourse with you, because there is every evil thing. All these devils from these wounds that are unhealed within us have the potential to be every evil thing. I've also mentioned that emotions are a stronghold for devils to exist. Learning to master, recognize when it's happening, and control it, that's the level up. Because when you can do that, that being recognized, these devils we carry in these wounds are being poked, prodded, inspired, and you're really about to get these horns. And you look at the person in the intimate relationship with you that's doing it, and you do not eviscerate them. Because you've learned to recognize that every evil thing is trying to come out and up. And sometimes it's not the evil thing in your intimate partner, it's the one in you. And when you can control it, recognize it, and put it in its place, now you have leveled up.
Agreed.
From a spirit perspective, these tests and trials, pokings of the bears that you may be enduring, and sometimes are represented in the behavior of the other, are to get you to learn how to recognize that every evil thing, or the chick in the dress in the Matrix,
the red lady in the dress, yes.
That girl.
The lady in the red dress, that's right.
6 foot tall man that smells really good. Him, could be him. And then, because you'll feel it, it's an internal, oh, wait a minute. Not only do I know it's there, I feel it welling up. I recognize it's not in the partner, this is in me, which means it's not really about what I think it is. And then I'm having this internal battle where I'm about to put you in your place. That's a spiritual level up. Whatever how God you serve, when you get there, that's a spiritual level up. Remember I said, when you on A and B, then you little demons on A and B. But when you get on F and G, so do they.
Ooh, come on. Hey.
The dress gets more red. The man smells more good. You understand?
Right.
The words that you use against your partner to inspire them in a negative way become more sharp. Your feelings about those wounds come closer to the surface because you might get these horns in a minute just one more time.
Wow. Wow.
And I just wanted everybody to remember that devilment is always floating around in there. The question of the day is, what level are you on?
What level of devilment are you on? Oh, my goodness. Stay with me. Wait, Nikki, stay with me. I'm sorry. You got to stay with me. Just one more minute of your time. When I come forward, I'm going back to Mississippi because Nikki, boy, when I tell you she be on the griddle cooking, she damn sure do. Listen, when we come forward, more from Nikki from the Sip. Devilment sounds like a brand new gum from the Juicy Fruit Wrigley's Brothers manufacturer. Devilment gum. Not doublemint, devilment gum. I'm stupid. Hey, by a show of emojis. I like an interactive, chew on that, right? So needs to devilment. By a show of emojis, please, please, please put up an emoji describing how you feel about this show. All right, man. I don't want to be the one. Yeah, hold up. I thought that was Francis Cress Welsing. Shat. Devilment. Mo and Joe at the candy store. Okay, Mo and Joe. What up, Serenity J, Nicolette, Vera Walker. Hey, 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 Suge Mac 510, Jack Brazen, Dave East. I see y'all. Brad Hamilton, you get to not like it. It's all good. But you're here, which is strange. Bastard Life, Attala, Sula Rubin. I see them. I see the emojis. No, they're trolls. No, he can stay. No emojis from the island. It's all good. No, he can stay. Thank you for expecting my opinion. I don't know what that means. Daniel, what up? Ida, Reverend L. Ratchet, we miss you, brother. Attila, come on, palm trees. I'm not a troll, you asked for one. No, I'm not talking to you, Vera. I was talking to someone else. Serenity J, Nicolette. Accepting. Sure, it's good, brother. I put 5 on it in the Cash App. Come on, Bay Area. Nah, everybody ain't gotta like it. Trying to balance football season and then basketball season rolling into it happens every year. Thank you, Shug.
And now comes my masterpiece. This diagram shows that knowledge of the unconscious is gained by the ego by way of projections. The unconscious, and this is something that is really serious, the unconscious is unconscious. You don't know what's down there until you experience it by way of a projection. So, a woman walks in the room and I'm struck. What's happened? She has received my animal projection. There was a dimple here or something like that that mother had, and there it is. I don't recognize this mother. I think it's that out there. And then I married the creature.
Ooh.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
What I'm really joining up with is a projection of my own psyche. And it doesn't take long in marriage for a fact to show through. And here comes the typical problem. Now, what are you going to do? You thought you were marrying this, and you got that. And there are two possibilities. One, you can say, darling, I am disillusioned. I'm taking my animal back for reprojection. And this can go on.
Do y'all know who that is? Legendary. Joseph Campbell. Oh, who is that? Author of The Hero's Journey, Hero of a Thousand Faces, the architect of Star Wars and every hero arc, storyline arc. This is where Hollywood gets all of their storylines for the hero. Leave home, just discovering his new power. Meets a mentor, then faces death, almost dies or dies, then comes back to life, then fights some battles, then finally makes it back home. Home is normal, but he's abnormal because he's been through something that changed him. Joseph Campbell, man. Come on, professor at Sarah Lawrence in New York. Come on, don't get it twisted. I bring all the heaters up in here. Nikki, get back in here and give us the rest of that heat before we get out of here for the night.
Just remember, somewhere in the back of the dome, when you're dealing with the devilment, be careful of that every evil thing. It sneaks up on you. You said the other night, there is no healed, there's healing.
Right.
Which means it's a continuum. So don't play yourself by thinking, oh, I'm done with that, I'm good, I move to the next level. There is a mining of that healing of that wound that has to be done on a continuum. Or you get the every evil thing.
No, you said a mining, like we are really about to excavate this wound. We are mining the jewels out of this wound because there are jewels in there if you're not afraid to go in and deal with it. I think it was Joseph Campbell who said the cave you are afraid to enter is the one that possesses the treasure.
And the eye is calm. It's getting to the eye where all the problem is. But once you get in the eye, the storm is cool. Okay? In nature, in nurture, same thing.
Right. Love that. Nikki, you know we love. Come on, you know we love you, Nikki. If you love Nikki from the sip, man, all you got to do is say, "Hey, Nikki." Everybody in the chat's gonna say it. Hey, Nikki. Nikki, we appreciate you for calling in. You brought Mississippi in the building. I love speaking to the folks all over the country, man. It just lets me know we're reaching a lot of people, and I just love their voices. I mean, Nikki does sound like Frances Cress Welsing. She does have that spirit about her. You know what I mean? She's soothing and calming to me when I listen to her. It's like, you know, she's delivering something that maybe my ears might not hear, but my soul be like, boy, you better shut up and listen. I love it when my folks call in from all over the country, and I'm glad we heard from people from Florida, our Floridian listeners. That has been amazing as well. But I'm going to go back to Krishnamurti, man. He said, the enemy is not the other, the enemy is you. And this is a very difficult idea for many people to grasp because people feel like, many people, I should say, and in general, of course, many people feel like, you know, all you had to do is act right. And it's really not, it's not that. Many times we're afraid to speak up when people haven't even begun to act wrong. They might show signs. This is why we say red flag, yellow flag, pink flag, maroon flag, whatever flag it is, right? When people show flags and signs and tells, right? That's in psychology, they call it tells, right? When these tells show up, oftentimes we're so wounded and broken and hurt and unhealed, we haven't even begun the healing process, or we've danced around it a little bit. There's this fear of loss. Oh my God, if I say something right now, I'll be done ruined this whole situation, right? And sometimes you got to be okay with ruining the whole situation early on, because later on, the situation might become intractable. You might not be able to get out of it. You understand? And when you're unhealed, you tend to focus on the green flags. You know what I mean? Oh, this person can do this. This person can do that. This person is this way, that way. But you really have to respect all of the flags that show up, and you have to keep account of them. You can't lose sight of any of the flags. And remember, flags are two-way mirrors. The flag in them, negative or positive, can only be recognized by someone that is that. You see kindness in a person and it moves you, right? Oh my God, that was such a kind gesture. That means you have a kind heart. An unkind heart can't, it doesn't resonate. Have you ever been with an unkind person? You do something kind and they don't even respond or react. It's almost like they're a robot. So, have you ever seen a very mean person do something mean and you get a smirk on your face when you know empathy should be there? Yeah, those flags are dual too. Do you see? The flag that you see in them is the flag that exists in you. Now, when dealing with the enhancement bias, the red flags you suppress in them typically are the red flags you suppress in yourself. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. The voice of reason is always on fire. I'll be back tomorrow on my Friday to wrap this week up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm on fire. You on fire. I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Great show tonight. Appreciate you all. Zoe up out of here. Tapped in. Appreciate you. Hey, bro.
Yes, sir.
You already know what it is. Holla at you tomorrow. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Deuces.